Hi guys. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to color match your clients. So at a party or anytime when you're color matching, you're going to you're going to need some extra tools and tips and tricks, and we're going to show you that in the video. We'll also have a list for you to keep in mind so you can kind of get used to it. But the biggest thing is just going to be having the confidence to try it and see what looks good and kind of get your groove with that. Most people can really use a few different colors. It's hard to go wrong. It's very foolproof. So don't be stressed, don't be worried. It's just the beauty of it is it's just makeup. So if you get on the wrong color, and even I do, I created this stuff and I put the wrong color on people all the time. No big deal. I wipe it right off. I put the other color on. It's just knowing what to do next when you see that you haven't got the right color on, and just knowing how to kind of gauge what that should look like and how it should look finished, and then just playing with it. That's going to be the bottom line, is have the courage. Get your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, just let them try it on so that you can get comfortable with the product. That's going to be more beneficial than any video that I show you, but I want to give you the tips and tricks to get you comfortable. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna start with just the contour color, and right now I'm just brushing it on where you would put the contour, outer edges of the face, underneath the cheekbones, and around the jawline and the sides of the nose. As you can see, right now I'm using Stone, and it does look a little bit warm. It doesn't look too warm to where it wouldn't match and it wouldn't work. I prefer it to look a little more chiseled, but it is a taste thing. So within each person, a few different colors should work. On this side, I'm using Ash. And as you can see, as I'm putting it on, it almost looks like I'm sculpting their face. That's really the moneymaker for me, is when I feel like I almost am just sculpting. When I'm applying it, I can just see that skin receding and the optical illusion of a shadow. That's really my goal. But that doesn't necessarily have to be the only way that you can do it. You can warm up their skin. If you feel like you need to go warmer, you can do that. With every person, at least one or two color combinations will work. So it's kind of nice because there isn't a perfect right or wrong. There is still your taste, their taste, and a lot of leeway within that. Now I'm starting on the highlight. On this right side of her face, looking at her, I used a lighter highlight. I'm using Aura on the right side. And what happens when you use a too light of color, and I feel that this color is too light, and you might not be able to see it, but I'm pointing it out here, it does create kind of a texture. And when people say they see it on their skin, or they see a texture, or it makes you look dry or bumpy, that's 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, that's because you have the wrong color. So here on the other side, I'm using Sunlit, and I think that's a better choice for her just because she has a lot of redness, and the Sunlit really mellows that out. And I know here you can't see the texture as well, but it is a much smoother application on the side, on the left side of her face. So with the highlight, that's really your indicator. Is it washing them out? Is it creating a bad texture? Is it hard to blend? If any of those things are at play, you know that you have the wrong color, and you just need to usually shade up. That sounds like too light of a color. With your lighter skin tones, you really want to not worry so much about going way lighter on their skin tone, because they already are so fair. You're gonna get that contouring from the contour, and not to worry too much about getting such a bright highlight. As they get into the darker skin tones, it switches. See how that works? So now that they have dark skin tones, you're gonna focus more on the light and not too much on darkening their skin tone. And for the really dark skin tones, we have 2 colors coming out. I want you just to know right now that I know that we don't have all of the variations, and we need to and we'll have those as soon as possible. So I am so sorry if someone is too dark and none of the colors are working for them. Do not stress. Within just a very short time, we will have Mango and Indigo. They're beautiful colors, and they will match the darkest of your clients. So no trouble there. Right now I'm just doing it on the blush. With blush, it's really the world is your oyster. Whatever looks beautiful and whatever is in their taste. I usually ask them, do you like a more neutral blush, in which I would go with maybe Desert Sunset? Or do you like pink? Do you like more of a flushed look? Pink would be Baby Watermelon maybe. The flushed look would be Ruby. And then you just try it on, and you can play with it a little bit. Usually everyone loves the first blush they get on their face. That way I would say 90 times out of 100. Some people are really hesitant to try blush, and I just say really encourage them to try it because it makes you look younger, it brings life into your face, and it's gorgeous. So here I'm working on a really, really fair client. And as you can see, here I'm using walnut, and that would be always my first go-to with a fair client, but it went a little orange. I don't know if you could tell. It was a little on the orange side, and like we always say, shadows don't create an orange color, they just create a darker shadow color. So I used ash, and on someone as fair as she is, you want to use a very light hand with your ash, but I did use ash nonetheless. And then I'm going with White Peach. She looks like the fairest of the fair, so you might be tempted to go with Moonlit first. And I always say I have a very, very rare amount of clients that actually use Moonlit as their main highlight. So I'm using Moonlit on the left side, and as you can see, it kind of is washing her out and looking a little ghost-like. It's not brightening her. If you want a little extra brightness, you can take the detailer hack and get just a tiny bit of Moonlit under the eyes. And sometimes if someone just wants the quad, I will even recommend adding that Moonlit to their White Peach instead of getting an illuminator. And because I love how that just kind of pops her face, but it doesn't look so bright and white like it does on the left side, which I'm taking off now because I just not like how that looked. So I'm redoing the highlight on the left side because it was the walnut, which didn't match her, and then I'm going on with the White Peach. And as you can see, that just looks so much more natural and soft, and you'll really be surprised at how fair someone can be, and the White Peach will still work great on them. Now I'm going over with the powder. She had a little bit oily T-zone, and I'm using the powder. You'll learn a little bit more from our video on the tools, but I like to dip it in the vanilla dust and then just tap it on her face, and it works so beautifully. It is honestly, that brush and the vanilla dust will change powder lovers' lives. Okay, so next up we have a darker skin tone, and with her we could either go stone or ash. Both work, but it kind of depends on if you're more into sculpting, if you do want to warm up the skin tone. You really get that shadow from both, but I wanted to give her more of a sculpt, so I used ash. Now I'm using wheat, and wheat looks really yellow, but as you can see, once it goes on, it doesn't look yellow. It looks very natural and soft and brightening. And I'm just using a light coat because here with her skin, as you can tell, is just beautiful. There's nothing we really need to cover up. She's very young. We don't need to cover up dark circles. We're just brightening up her face, so we don't need to use a lot of product, and we don't need to pile it on or put it anywhere that we don't want it. So that's really going to be good for your younger clients, that they can use it very sparingly and they don't have to put a mask over their whole face. I will warn you that they don't love blush usually, and neither did she, but we made her wear a little bit of it, and it looks really gorgeous on her. There is a little bit on color matching and a little bit on shade matching, but I want you to know, like I said in the intro of this video, or in the beginning of this video, it's all about trying it on. If you can try it on and you can feel good about getting your hands in there and getting it on their faces, you're going to get a real groove in a real short amount of time. So that would be your next step, having watched this video and watching your tools video, get that on some faces. Okay, good luck with that, and I will see you guys soon.